What's up? Announcements. I have broken paws. My hand doctor told me that I have a couple trigger fingers, and also that I've got the tendinitises. So that is no bueno. And I haven't really done my cards for a whole week because I need to enlist the help of a royal shuffler, which I have. And when he gets home from work, he's got his work cut out for him. Got a couple new decks, and I need them loosened up. Anyway, greetings. I'm here to entertain you and fail miserably. I delved into this Danzig situation. I did a first video on it, and unless I'm like, I should timestamp that mug. Like, that went on forever. How about if I just make it quicker than the first one? You're welcome. I need my Maui mask or whatever. Here's what I know. Well, Wallbender, Danny Marianino from Northside Kings stole Danzig in his jaw 2004 in Tuba City, Arizona, which is a community of native peoples. Not a reservation like people had reported. Little timeline. 2011. Danzig's still talking about it, mostly probably because people are still asking about it. 2011, he said, I allowed it. It was a setup, and I just didn't want to get sued because my hands are a lethal weapon or whatever. That I know what martial arts, whatever type of martial arts, and I could have killed him, but I didn't. Whatever that whole, like, Chuck Norris situation is. I could have killed him, but I held myself back. 2012, Vice does an interview with Danny from Northside Kings, who, the band broke up and whatnot. Being as how it was 8 years later, I mean, the dead horse called. He said, stop beating me. I saw that on a sitcom once. It was Christina Applegate, was Jesse, and Diego, her friend Diego. He said that, and I use it a lot. That's where it comes from. I like to sort. Listen, if I rip something off, I'm going to tell you exactly where I got it. All right, so 2012, Vice is interviewing Danny about this, which, like, at this point has become part of our folklore as a people. And then 2020, there's still videos about this. There are still people talking to witnesses that were there on podcasts about it. Okay, listen. Here's the thing. Why are we still talking about it? Well, I did some investigation because I don't care about the punch. I don't care about that because honestly, if you're hanging around at metal bands and punk bands and that's like the only time you've ever witnessed somebody get their ass kicked, like, you have not gotten that. Like, you need to get out more is what I'm saying. I didn't understand why this was such a big deal because I'm like, is that the only time you've ever torn your rotator cuff to issue a haymaker to somebody's grill? Like, is this the only time you've ever had this moment? Like, this shouldn't be this big of a deal, but upon further investigation, I realized why it was a big deal, and it's because of all the hate mail. Now, I want to say that this video surfaced probably on MySpace and across the internet on blogs and whatnot when people still had those. YouTube wasn't even a thing yet, so then I guess what happens is when a new platform shows up, this video shows up. I guess they use it to fault test their bandwidth. Because this video's been seen like by almost everyone numerous times also. Okay, so that part's kind of interesting. I didn't think about how every time a new platform shows up, this video and probably like 100 other videos, just these classic videos, like the Mayhem commercials for that insurance company. Those are classics. The What's Up commercials. I've seen those hundreds of times. I can't remember what it was for. And then I had to look it up. It was for Budweiser. And then Terry Tate, all this linebacker. These are classics. People are going to transfer that to the new platform because they're amazing. All right? So that was part of it and why people are still talking about it, because it has joined the pantheon of champion videos, okay? Classics. Another reason why it was such a big deal was because apparently, allegedly, Danzig was a big fat diva that caused trouble for a lot of people. He's one of those griefers on the road. I would venture to say that people like Danzig are probably somewhat of a fault tester for your relationships. Your band really, it's either a unifying experience or it can tear your band apart. Everybody has a role to play, and, not everybody you run across needs to be full of light and happiness. In fact, you may not learn much about yourself if they are. I see those people as providing refuge from, an often harsh and brutal world. They have their role to play, but so do the fault testers in our stars. It sounds like Danzig's one of these people, and that is, he did that for years, just wearing people out. He's what I would refer to as a Bengali Tea Boy. There's a fable that goes that a Buddhist monk was going to go to some major city, and he's like, oh no, I hear everybody there is nice. Like, how am I going to work on my patience? How am I going to learn patience if everybody's so nice? He's like, you know what? My T-Boy's an asshole. Like, I'll just take him with me so I can still practice my patience. That kind of attitude with a world full of Danzigs, that can take you pretty far. I use it. I use my brush-ups with buttholes to be more like a leveling up opportunity. Regardless, the last reason and probably the biggest factor why this was such a big fat deal was the reaction of this situation to the fans. Briefly, I actually did buy Danny's book about this. He wrote a book about it. Don't Ever Punch a Rock Star, All the Hate Mail, I think, is the title. I'm not done with it yet. Danny, if you're watching this, you need a proofreader, dude. I love your content. I will proofread your book. The next one you do, I will proof it for you. because I think it could be that much better. So Danny wrote a book about it, and he included a bunch of the hate mail that he and his band got for years. Now, Danny and I appear to be very similar in that we like to talk shit. And we are no stranger to it, and we are both very tough-skinned people. You know, if you're going to be as big as a rhino, you should have the skin of one. So a lot of stuff just rolls right off. I'm like, oh, that's... And if it's funny, it's funny. I'm like, damn, you know, that's pretty hilarious. Props to you for that. He seems to be the same way. I'm not saying that there hasn't been times where he, you know, has looked at all the hate mail and been like, dude, this sucks. Like, I'm sure that there has been times, but overall, like, he's just this, like, jolly Italian who's just like, hey, you know, just blowing it off, having a good time with it. The band didn't stay together. It looks like maybe the hate mail and just, you know, the stuff that they experienced on the road because of this situation, which sounds like it was a whole cluster, a night full of cluster where Danzig was contractually obligated to go on at 10:30. That was the slot that he chose. He was unwilling to be flexible about that. 3 or 4 bands ended up being out in the dark because the show ran late. The organizer, listen, putting on shows like that's not easy. So 3 or 4 bands were supposed to go on after Danzig because he wouldn't move his slot. They were like, all right, well, we drove hours and hours to get here. That's fine, I guess. We'll work it out. And then Danzig was he wasn't supposed to do anything. They were hoping that he would say something like, hey, you know, you got 3 or 4 other bands going on after this. Stick around. Very simple to do. But he said, hey, everybody have a good night. This is according to Danny. Hey, everybody have a good night and get home safe. Which implies, like, this show is over. You know, hit it. And then Danny confronted him in the hallway, which, you know, there was a craft table situation where it's clear Danny's a foodie. He likes good food. Being in a band on the road where you're surviving on basically 3-month-old marshmallows and uncooked rice out of a bag can be very hard on a foodie. He may have gone ham on the craft table. Listen, it happens, okay? He may have eaten a bunch of stuff that, like, Danzig wanted to eat. I could see that. I heard something about French onion soup. I've yet to verify. None of these details really matter, and the punch itself doesn't even really matter. What I'm interested in is how everybody jumped into this, and these fans of Danzig, and I'm sure NSK fans were jumping back, like mixing it up too. I'm sure they weren't innocent, but my question is this. How the hell, and it's not just Danzig. I've seen this happen to other celebrities. Why, in this instance anyway, why are the fans jumping into the back of a pickup truck to go handle it like Danzig was their cousin? That's what I want to know. I want to know why the fans don't trust 2 adults to work this out among themselves, or to let this cool off, or go, hey, you know what? Listen, they mixed it up. It's just something that happens sometimes because you're talking about punk and metal bands who are, you just kind of drawn to it because it's aggressive music. You're going to have some aggressive people in there. Things can happen blood sugars drop, people go without sleep. I mean, you're really talking about, like, it's not whether this happened. I'm shocked this doesn't happen more often, even today. And, you know, maybe that's partially why people are still talking about it. Regardless, the fans just went completely nuts. And they deluged Danny with so much hate mail that he wrote a book about it. That's where we're at with this story. So here's my question. I did read-ins specifically for this Danzig situation. I said, and I'll put this up. 3 factors for hate mail using my JackJack deck. We had a black lab named Jack. And we love that dog. In fact, we love that dog so much that we actually got him cremated and we have the box upstairs. We don't usually do that because we're like, the dog's gone, the person's gone, like, this is just the shell that they were in. I mean, my dad was just like, dude, flush me down the toilet for all I care, you know. But we did. We kept the ashes just because he made such an impact on our lives. And when I looked at this tin, I'll zoom in with my editor. It looks like 2 black dogs, right? Well, we also used to call Jack JackJack. And it's JackJack. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I just call this deck JackJack? Because it's cute. Okay, so for the hate mail, according to JackJack, it was the King of Pentacles reversed, Ace of Cups, and 2 of Pentacles reversed. And basically, it was saying, and I'm learning how to summarize, so if I'm wrong, let me know. Tempers are running high and fifis are everywhere. That's basically what the card said. Now, I pulled out 13, my loyal 13, my Necro 13 tarot deck, all right? My Giger-esque deck. And he said, she or he, doesn't matter, no. Devil reversed, 8 of Pentacles reversed, and 2 cups upright. So that also indicated like bad use of time, getting kind of hooked by an emotion and just thinking that there was going to be a reward for it. And interestingly enough, I have pulled this before because of this is the like 4th time I've tried to do this video over the last like month. I believe that's what I got the other times too, or something close to it. Basically just people are out of control. They attach their identity part of this person and then they just go wild if something happens. Like, it's not even about the celebrity itself. It's about having an opportunity to use force and kind of just like vent their fifis. There's a lot of times people don't realize, you know, if they use that toward a goal that they had for themselves, it would be a much better use of time or whatever. Hey, listen, I don't tell people how to freedom. Like, if you want to, I'm just saying, like, if you're able to follow through with like a hate mail campaign, you could probably make a huge difference in your life and probably have the dedication to like follow through on something you always wanted to do. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, that was my hate mail thing, but I'm going to read one more thing because I want to understand exactly how I don't know how to word this. Looks like this one's going to get time stamped. I was joking about it before, but sometimes I do. I need to think out loud. I think we are going to use JackJack. Why don't we ask, because I actually was going to do it last time and I forgot, if Danzig's learned any lessons from this whatsoever. He can posture to the mags. I don't know, it was Blabbermouth or whatever. I can't remember which magazine. I think it was Blabbermouth where he was like, I allowed it. I just didn't want to get sued because I know martial arts and the whole thing was a setup. Allegedly. That's what was in the article, man. I'm just... For the record, I'm still a Danzig fan. I still love the first two albums. I did listen to his Elvis. He did sing Elvis songs. It wasn't bad. And listen, if you enjoyed doing it, then like have at it, Mr. Danzig. I did find I had to cleanse my palate with Run the Jewels, Begging Your Pardon, Live at the Garden. I did have to listen to some Run the Jewels after that, just to... But it's not like it was a bad album, or... I guess it was unexpected. And it was also very uncanny. So no, I don't have hatred for Danzig, because mostly he's a human being and a flawed human being, much like the rest of us. So, and just another fault tester. I mean, when I think of all of the, I'm not saying people shouldn't receive consequences for their behavior. I'm all about consequences. I love those. But, I guess unless you're in a situation where those would be meted or warranted, just having a person walking around in the world who's like basically a griefer that isn't like actively hurting you, I just, I don't spend a lot of time thinking about how I can send that person hate mail. Maybe I should. Maybe for my golden years, which are rapidly approaching. So let's just see. Danzig is not going to tell Blabbermouth if he learned a lesson. He's not going to do that. But let's see if he learns one regardless. Let's use JackJack. And let's just see if we could ascertain the nature of his mindset. All right. Could you tell me, JackJack, 3 cards to answer the question, did Danzig learn his lesson? Did Danzig learn his lesson? Cups and Pentacles. Well, thank you, JackJack. You have been a delight. All right. So what do we got here? Also, just want to say the Inversion Tarot. The thingy is a little hard to read, but it has bullet points, which I feel like the entire world should be bullet pointed. Seven of Pentacles. I've been PowerPointed. I knew it would happen one day. 8 of Cups. Reverse these. All right, Seven of Pentacles. Ugh. Okay. Danzig, have you learned your lesson from something that happened 16 years ago, but people are still talking about on a freaking podcast in 2020? Have you? Oh, right. And then I got this because I stole the idea from Autumn on Black and Orange Tarot. Look. Seven of Pentacles. Ready, but still waiting to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Be patient about the process. Things need time to develop, grow, and reach fruition. It's been 16 years. Okay. Timing is important to get it right. Assess the current situation and determine the next step. Project review. Project review? Well, that might explain the bullets and the thingy. How has it developed along the way? All right, fantastic. Eight of Cups. Reversed. Here. Reversed. Looking to fill the void after walking away quickly. Becoming dissatisfied. Yeah. Aimless drifting. I don't know what that has to do with his lesson. I may not have asked this correctly. I'm a work in progress. I'm still working on it. Okay. Six of Pentacles. Reverse. Helping or giving for the wrong reasons. Like wanting someone to feel indebted to you. All right. Sounds like we're on track. We're back on track. Doing nothing because you don't think it will help or matter. Ingratitude. Failing to appreciate, help, aid, or benefits you receive. That definitely describes the situation. I'm going to look into a better layout because unfortunately, I'm not done. I'm still captivated by this whole mess. I don't care about the punch. It's just basically how like people are like reacting to it, working through it, experiencing it, re-experiencing it. Like, you can't tell me that Danzig's been the only griefer anyone's ever run across. Is it just that he's the only one that got punched? Anyway, this concludes our agitated tarot. Unfortunately, we're going to be seeing this topic again. I don't think I'm done with this. Once I finish Danny's book, I may get ideas for more readings to do. We're just gonna pile in. I mean, why not? Because it's not like this situation's ever gonna die down. So we might as well just learn how we're gonna live with it. I will see you at another time.